Hello there, USMLE Step 1 warriors. Get ready for a quick, high-yield bite. Let's tackle the basal ganglia and its direct pathway. This powerhouse in your brain controls voluntary movements and posture, receiving cortical inputs to fine-tune the motions. It's a must-know for those tricky exam questions. Think about Parkinsonism or Huntington cases. Stick with me for the deep dive. Smash that like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more USMLE gold. Alright, let's do this. Imagine a patient with shaky hands and stiff posture. Classic Parkinson's. This all ties back to basal ganglia, a USMLE Step 1 hot topic, so let's dive in. The basal ganglia are critical for voluntary movements and posture adjustments. They receive cortical input and send negative feedback to the cortex to fine-tune the motions. The key structure here would be, first, the striatum, which split into putamen, which handles motor functions, and the caudate nucleus linked to cognition. Then the lentiform nucleus made up of the putamen and globus pallidus. Check out this diagram. See how these parts connect? Memorize this for those high-yield questions. A pro tip for USMLE here would be, know the striatum as the entry point for cortical signals. Dysfunction here will, like in Parkinson's, disrupt the movements. Practice labeling this diagram to lock it in. Stick around for the direct pathway next. Super high yield. Now, ever wonder why some patients can't start moving on their own actually? It's the basal ganglia's direct pathway gone wrong, a key for USMLE Step 1, so let's break it down. This is the direct pathway, an excitatory circuit. It starts with the cortex releasing glutamate to stimulate the striatum. The striatum then releases GABA, inhibiting the globus pallidus interna or GPI. That reduces GABA output, disinhibiting the thalamus. The thalamus activates the cortex, boosting motion. The key point here is, this pathway amplifies cortical output to facilitate voluntary movement. Follow this flowchart. It's a gold for the exam. USMLE love testing this. If GPI inhibition fails, like in Parkinson's disease, motion stalls. Practice the sequence: cortex to striatum to GPI to thalamus to cortex. Nail this, and you are set for those tricky vignettes. Next time, we will tackle the indirect pathway. If you have found this helpful, smash that like, subscribe, and turn on the notification for more USMLE wins.